Hello, everybody. Welcome to Inside the Booth. I'm your host, Dan the Law Arena. Tonight we have our guest, Ryan, from Legion Games 2076.
Who he keeps inviting on, and I don't know why. No, thanks for having me on, man.
No problem. Thanks for being here, everybody. Thanks for being here, Ryan.
Of course.
Tonight's going to be an interesting night, that's for sure. I'm super duper tired, and I think Ryan might be a little tired too. I'm trying my best to stay awake, wide. What do they call it? Wide-eyed, bushy-tailed?
yeah, wide-eyed and bushy-tailed, where you got to be like,
hey, everybody, woo!
Yeah, no, we're not. Watching a replay of that. Oh, look, I got really super close to the camera with my tongue out.
So tonight we're going to be reviewing The Hobbit, the animated 1977 version.
Yes.
Beautiful. Dan's hair is bushy-tailed. Yes, thank you. I just took my do-rag off because I didn't know what to do with it. It wasn't working out. So yeah, that's what happened there. So anyways, yeah, this cartoony movie is pretty kind of cool. I'll be honest with you, I did watch a little bit of the Lord of the Rings one.
I did too.
I didn't finish it, unfortunately.
I didn't either. I think I got like maybe 30 minutes.
And the Hobbit is way better, like cartoon wise. I think they just animated it better or something. I don't know. They did something where it was like, woo.
Tabitha says that she expects braids next stream.
Oh, nice. Yeah. You know what I did when I was 14 years old? I braided, the little braids to make it look like dreadlocks. I braided my whole head like that. My hair wasn't as long as this, but
did you have like the little jewels in them?
No.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, like the little sewing jewels.
Right. I know what you're talking about, but I didn't have any jewels in it. Just colorful bands and stuff.
Oh, very colorful.
Yeah, it was interesting.
I want proof.
I did not take any pictures.
I guarantee there's a picture out there from your brother or your mom.
Maybe. I don't know. Didn't last long. Let me just tell you, it didn't last long.
Tabitha's the epic tales of Dan's past.
Yes. And everybody comes for that, don't you?
The epic tales of all of our pasts.
That's it.
The past is, well, because obviously a lot of us come from the early millennial generation, stuff like that. So we're like pre-internet, also at the same time we're post-internet. So like, there's strange. A lot of
we fit in a strange spot.
We fit in a strange category. So but anyway, thanks for having me on, buddy. I appreciate it.
No problem.
Yeah, this has been good, and hopefully maybe next time we can talk about the animated Lord of the Rings, which from 1978, and then of course we have Return of the King, the animated from 1980.
That's it.
A lot of good stuff from our childhood.
There is. All right, so I'll be honest, I have not really seen this cartoon before. I think I've seen bits and pieces. I've never really seen the whole thing before, so fresh perspective from me. All right. I liked it. Like it was kind of like the movies, just way much shorter, and there was no like what is that blue thing that they were looking for in the movies? The jewel.
Hold on, the
eye of something.
No,
what do they call it? I don't even remember.
Gosh darn it. I had it in my mind. It was the I'll look it up. Keep going, Dan. I'll look it up.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's just talk about this cartoon for a minute. The plot, the beautiful plot of this movie was beautiful. It was basically like the Hobbit 3 movies all put together in one.
The Arkenstone.
The Arkenstone, yes.
That's what it was.
Now,
yeah.
I'll be honest, I never read the book. Oh, look, Tabitha says it just when you say it.
Tabitha said that the Scene Stone, the Oakenstone, it's the Arkenstone. Look, she tried to help. Like, you know, much love to her and stuff like that. Yeah, no, it added stupid, not Oaken Arken. She said stupid.
Right.
I have been, you know, I have been friends with you and Tabitha both for a long time. To see her say stupid, it's super rare. It's so funny.
The internet is forever, Tabitha.
No, she said, yeah, she says not you guys, myself. No, that was
yes,
super
I know.
funny.
I know you're calling yourself dumb.
The GilkMan says, you want to know some in trivia in this film about Inside the Booth? Maybe. I don't.
Yes, GilkMan, tell us.
It's the Oakenstone.
Oaken, Arken, Aiken, the Aiken Stone. Oh, my Aiken Mac Stone.
There were 2 Captain Hooks in this film. Really?
Oh, there was what? 2 Captain Hooks in this film?
There were 2 Captain Hooks in this film.
In this film? In the cartoon? Is that what he's saying?
I feel like there's like an allegory there or something like that.
Okay.
And Tabitha said the freaking stone. Yeah, it's
it is a freaking stone. Captain Hook. I don't know. I was watching something not too long ago about, and it was somebody said something about Captain Hook. I don't know. My kids watch a bunch of weird stuff though, so I don't know what it was.
Really? The GilkMan said the one who voiced Elrond was Hans Conried, who played Captain Hook in the Disney animated film, animated 1953 film.
Oh.
Really?
See, look at that. We got a
thank you, Thomas,
from the GilkMan. Everybody, and I like to call the GilkMan the Milkman.
Also, Thomas, I have a new
Thomas
Twitter.
the Milkman.
Ooh. I have a new Twitter. It's called Nevin Phoenix, NEVANE PHOENIX, because Twitter got mad at my other my other Twitter
postings. So anyways, besides your postings, let's talk about this cartoon that we're supposed to be talking about. The plot is the same thing as before, you know, where Bilbo Baggins goes on a journey to steal something and to get rid of the smog, and then so the dwarves can live there, and then that's basically it, right? It's a journey of life. I don't know. Something like that.
So basically this movie is approximately an hour and 17 minutes of squeezing the Hobbit movie, the Hobbit book into a very small condensed story.
Yeah.
It definitely has certain plot points that are on point. At the same time, though,
did you like Smog's face? He looked like a cat.
No, I hated Smog's face.
He was like a cat. Meow. He was like a cat meow.
The story was so condensed. It was actually it was harder to follow.
Sorry, GilkMan.
Mom's here.
Oh, hello, Mom.
Hi,
You're
Mom.
Early tonight. Oh man, she's gonna catch most of the show.
So So basically, the story was condensed, and it was what was an hour and 17-minute movie probably should have been elongated over maybe like
A little bit, yeah.
2 hours and 20 minutes.
Right.
Because if you actually move forward into the Lord of the Rings animated movie from 1978, it is actually 2 hours and 12 minutes long.
Right.
And it just they skip a lot of stuff.
Right.
And even though
A
yes,
lot,
it's how
for
I
sure.
was introduced into the Tolkien world as a kid, compared to the Hobbit trilogy, I kind of like it more.
Oh
I
yeah.
mean, I'm more of an adult. I mean, look, I get it. It's a great kids movie. It's animated. It's fun. It has
Right. Right.
it's a little bit of a musical
It
and
has
stuff
that
like that.
nostalgia to it.
Yeah, and also at the same time, they use Tolkien's actual words as almost as like a melody for a song to tell a fairy tale. So
Right.
that's kind of cool. That in my opinion. Dan.
Bend the forks and blunt the knives. That's what Bilbo Baggins hates.
Yep. Which leads
So
into the
careful with the plates.
yes. Yeah, well, of course, Bilbo Baggins is he's a hobbit. He has never experienced
Chaos.
yeah, chaos.
I do
It-
like how the movie that part of the song in the movie was fun, more fun, because they're throwing the plates around, they're hitting it, and they're. I mean, definitely, not realistic, but it was fun. It had that cartoony feel.
I mean, it's the same for the live action. So you're talking about house guests and stuff like that. There are 13 dwarves. You have Gandalf, who is not officially a part of the party. Bilbo is to be Mr. Baggins, the burglar, who is the 14th per contract, and that's 15 souls in one house, one little hobbit house.
Right.
Chaos is definitely going to ensue. So I like the fact that in the live action, even in the movie, the animated movie, obviously they play off each other because they're, one was 1977, you have the other one 2013.
Right.
I think it's a great adaptation for both, and I like the fact that they carry the musical nature of it forward for both movies. So
Right. I got you there. That's good. So the cartoon plot, I guess I'll give it a point because it's kind of the same plot as as the movies and obviously the books. So, I mean, there's really nothing you can really. In my opinion, I don't think you can say the plot sucked. I mean, they did skip a lot, but they. So I give it a point. What do you give it?
half a point.
Half a point.
Because
Gotcha.
they skipped a lot, which like I said, it's a long story,
Right.
and I feel
Wait,
like
what's up?
as somebody who understands where the book comes from, even the Hobbit trilogy comes from, which added a lot more to
They
it.
added to it. Yeah.
I feel like
they added to it.
I feel like
So-
adding a lot more was better than taking it away, because the Hobbit movie from 1977, it jumped from like this, and then you would jump forward 10 minutes to this, and then you
Right.
would
They
jump
skipped a
forward
couple pages.
5 minutes to this, and you would jump 21 minutes to this. It was a lot of jumping, and quite
Right.
frankly,
They still had the barrel ride So,
They still had the barrel ride. Yes, they did. However, one of the big problems that I really had with the story is that the dwarves, they were kind of worthless. They weren't warriors. They weren't trying to reclaim their home. They were less than worthless than a piece of paper.
right.
You know, in a soggy rainstorm.
Well, yeah, the dwarves, the way it was drawn, it kind of reminded me of the Seven Dwarves and Snow White there.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
I was wondering where Grumpy was, and
yeah, no, absolutely. It was and it was the 70s too, so it kind of a little bit had that old school kind of stoner kind of like cartoon slash music kind of narrative, in the beginning, in my opinion. Towards the end, I think it got a lot better. But at the same time, yeah, it cut a lot of stuff out. Like they just happened to stumble on the trolls. They're like, oh, they're eating meat. We're hungry, so let's go, burglar, go steal from the trolls. And it's like, no,
take their meat from them.
that doesn't make any sense. That makes you the bad guys. You're trying to steal from the trolls, and you get mad. You get mad when they try to eat you. Like going, I'd eat your punk butt too.
That's
so I think Peter Jackson, you can see too. You can see, because they said, hey, based off the original Hobbit book, and it wasn't off of a retelling. They say in the beginning of the movie. So I see where they did really good, and I also see where they did really bad. And of course Tolkien, was
I think wasn't he dead by then? By 1977? I think he died in 1973.
He was dead by like 1973, 77 at the latest. I think we looked that up.
We did look it up that one time. I don't even remember. Let me look real quick. Since my computer's going a little faster tonight. Yeah. September 2nd, 1973.
Okay, yeah. So he was he was definitely no longer with us.
I do remember hearing them talk about how he did not want it to be a movie or a cartoon, things like that, because back then they were looking to do it as a live action movie with the Beatles, and he did not agree to it. So
I'm glad he said no to that. Nothing against the Beatles.
Oh yeah,
but no,
for me.
Stop cross-platforming musical artists with actors. It
doesn't work. It doesn't work.
And actors,
we know that by some of these actors today that are musical, and then they tried acting, and they still tried doing the acting thing, but they're not that good. What's her name? J-Lo. She's a horrible actor.
Yeah, she's not super. But I will say this: she is consistent in her romantic comedy role.
Right.
At least she has that.
She's bad at it.
So yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah.
Let's move on to the acting. So let's talk about the voice acting. Obviously,
it's drastically corny. Of course, for the time though, which we have to separate. You have to separate the time. She's a
good actor.
Don't tell my wife.
I won't tell your wife that she's a bad actor.
Well, I have to be honest.
I say actress. Sorry.
I kind of like to marry me, but I kind of like junk romantic comedies. So that's my downfall.
Right. I did see a GilkMan, and the one who voices Thorin is Cyril, whatever, who played Captain Hook in the Broadway version
Yeah.
alongside of Mary Martin's Peter Pan.
Yes.
Okay, so that's what you're saying is two Captain Hooks, two people who voiced or played Captain Hook.
Yes.
Those two voiced a couple people in here. Gotcha. That's what you meant. So yeah. So that being said, you have Orson Bean as Bilbo Baggins. You got Don Meskick as Balin Grauwil. I can't even say these words. John Huston as Gandalf. I think he did a decent Gandalf voice. What do you think, John Huston?
I definitely do. I think no, I would actually agree. Yeah, he did a good job. He portrayed it in a different way. It wasn't as, but it was also the dialogue, which he didn't write. He didn't write the dialogue. So
that's correct. Yeah.
Had he been, say, hypothetically, been given the dialogue of our Gandalf that we know, Ian McKellen, I think he would have been able to actually nail that. Because the voices actually sound really, really similar.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
But obviously they accelerated the movie, through the story and stuff like that. And so I'm not sure. Go ahead.
If you're seeing this picture of Brother Theodore, who played Gollum, he almost looks like a Bilbo Baggins Gollum type person. His name's Brother Theodore. I didn't really like how they drew Gollum, to be honest. I didn't like that. It was looked more like a.
Did you share?
Just looking at the cast.
Okay. Yeah. No. He did look like. He looked like a weird frog /
yeah, that's what I was thinking. Frog.
Lizard. I don't think that we got the whole entire obsession with the Ring of Power, the whole entire Gollum, and my precious. I think Andy.
Let me tell you, the cartoon Lord of the Rings did not do a good. I think the Gollum in that one was horrible, worse off than the one in the Hobbit there. And it was supposed to be the same guy who drew it too, so I don't know why the animation's different.
Well, they probably tried to update the animation, and I definitely saw that. Obviously, Frodo, in the 1978 animated Lord of the Rings looks different than say Bilbo would. Bilbo's kind of like short, stout. He looks kind of like a almost like a Hobbit dwarfling combined.
Right.
He doesn't look athletic in the least. He doesn't look like he looks odd. The dwarves also look odd too. They kind of remind you of like Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs.
Yeah.
And they're like, we're taking our home back, and it's like, okay.
How with no armor or swords? I mean, they did get the swords, but
yeah,
goblin cleaver.
even
Those
after
goblins were interesting looking. What did you think about them goblins? They had like, how we have like a one hole there. They had like two holes on in their mouth. That was weird. Why'd they do that?
Yeah, the goblins kind of took precedent. It was all goblins. There were no orcs. So there were also at the same time.
They almost look like Ghostbuster ghosts to me.
Kind of slightly.
Right.
They also rode standard size wolves, which.
Right, yeah.
So I mean,
so obviously these goblins are kind of short too. So
you also see the Goblin King, and of course, so when Gandalf saves the dwarves from the trolls.
Yeah.
Also, I'm sorry, Bilbo escapes and runs into the cave, by the way. And he literally has nothing to do after like going, well, you're a burglar and we want meat. So the dwarves are like, go get that food. And it's like, from trolls? you want to steal meat from trolls?
Right.
So it's like, okay.
Like,
I actually
you instead.
I actually give Peter Jackson a lot more credit for that because at least it made sense. Like the trolls stole their horses. It's like what happened to our horses. We had to go find out.
Had to go free them up.
So anyway, Bilbo hides in the cave. Gandalf comes. They're all wrapped. The dwarves are all wrapped up in sacks, and they're about ready to be eaten alive or boiled or whatever. Yeah. Gandalf brings the sunlight, doesn't actually.
The dawn will get you. Yeah. And then like he doesn't break the stone for the sun was rising. He kind of like makes the sunrise on his own or something. It was weird.
Which also doesn't make sense because there are 5 guardians, so to speak, that are wizards.
Right.
And in the books, and that's definitely not a power that I've seen. So anyway,
anyways, that was
the trolls turn to stone. Bilbo comes out. He's like, I found stuff. It's like, all right.
Yeah, so they go in, and then that's
they go in, and it's similar to the to the Hobbit trilogy movies. However, Gandalf, being one of the 5 protectors of the realms, I guess in a sense, or he's like, I can't read this, and it's like, you can't read ancient Elvish?
Oh, right. Right. When they were looking at the map.
Well, no, he's looking at the swords. And
right. And he didn't know what the names were or whatever.
Yeah, and of course Gandalf finds his sword, which ultimately is the slayer of orcs. I can't remember the name off the top of my head.
The foe hammer. And
then of course Bilbo finds Sting. Yeah. And
I like how in the movie he named the Sting from stabbing the spider, and the spider goes, it stings.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh yeah, I do. Sting. I like how that happened instead of Bilbo looking at it going, I gotta name you, Mr. Sword. Like he's talking to it like it's a thing that listens to him. Oh, it was weird.
I would agree. So anyway, he's like, Gandalf in the animated is like, I'm glad you found a sword, and he's like, well, it's not a sword. It's a dagger. It's a dagger that just happens to suit my size, and it's like, okay, no,
we kind of know that.
It's really not, because a dagger in human form you see in the movies, Sting is actually
like a short sword.
It's a short sword, but it's not a dagger.
No, it's not.
So I know we're definitely nitpicking here,
right?
But also at the same time, though, too, when Frodo finds the one ring, it kind of comes out of nowhere.
Yeah. And then Gollum goes looking for it in his little makeshift tent.
It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make sense.
He's like, where is it? Where's my precious? Oh,
they skipped a lot of steps, and it was like, watching it as an adult, as a kid, you're kind of retarded. So
as a kid, you don't have
you're like, you're like, oh, what's the precious?
Yeah.
So the precious is gone. Like, why you? even when he's talking about the precious, he's like digging, he's like looking, in the water at fishes, and it's like that's not the precious. I mean,
No.
is he just like talking about the precious nonstop to where when he's like trying to find food, which Gollum has to find food. He's not immortal in that sense, but the One Ring from Sauron has extended his life by 550 years.
Right. So
So
what would you give the acting? Sorry, I gotta go back. I know we're talking.
I know.
I would give it a half a point just because some of them did do a good job.
Yeah, I'd say half a point.
I think that's what I'll do. But you're right, like the writing wasn't that great. So
Sorry, I so went off on a tangent.
oh yeah, you did. That's all right.
You
That's all right.
invited me on for my investigative movie skills, and
That's it.
you're like, never again, sir.
Never again will you do that. Sorry, I need to write down the points.
You need like a tally marker, like a
I know I should get a whiteboard or something, and then
or even like a poll in the chat. I think you can do like YouTube polls in the chat where you can like keep score. I don't know. I've never done it, so don't quote me.
I won't.
Wow, the hate, sir. My heart hurts.
All right.
It hurts my heart.
So before we get into cinematography, which will obviously be the drawing and the animation of the film, let's go into a commercial break, since that's always fun to do. So here we go, everybody. Don't forget to vanquish the like button, subscribe to the channel, and
want to ring the bell? All right. Ding, ding.
Why are we still muted? I don't.
is the video over?
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't think there. I don't think.
My beautiful browser failed playing. So
did you try to play the inside the booth store?
No, not yet.
Okay.
Here, I'll do that next.
Yeah.
What is this place? What is it that you do here? Merchandising. Merchandising, merchandising, where the real money from the movie is made.
Oh, it's beautiful.
There we go. And my friends, it is beautiful. Ding the bell. Obviously, dinging the bell is for notifications. If you don't know how to use YouTube, you are not smart.
What is this YouTube you speak?
What is this YouTube? But if you do know how to use YouTube, you know exactly what the bell is for, what subscribing is for. So I don't know why I have to explain it to you every time we go live. But hopefully you do hit that subscribe button and the bell button. By the way, yes, our merchandise is beautiful. Our merchandise page is beautiful. www.insidetheboothtv.com/shop. You got little things to tell you where to go, and if you want to buy just a t-shirt, you click on that, then all the t-shirts that we have come right up. And then same with everything else. If you want to buy something else, I'm trying to make everything user friendly on the website so it doesn't look too overwhelming. So go check that out, everybody. Right now.
Very nice.
I said so.
Excellent.
Yeah.
You gotta use the villain voice too. It makes it so much more excellent.
There we go. Does this work? I'm gonna do it.
There you go. Yeah,
Yep.
no. That's good. That's good.
Okay, good.
Yeah, you got it. So
And
anyway,
that's the commercial, everybody.
and now we're going into cinematography.
Cinematography. I kind of enjoyed the way the cartooning was.
I did too. I give it a full point, especially for the time, because when you're talking about this is some copycat BS. You shut up, R2.
Yes, R2. Hey, everybody. Before we get into cinematography, I will, since R2 is here, let's shout out After the Weekend. They actually did this movie in the beginning of the month, so go check them out. Check out their R2. You can post your link since you are a admin here. So post that link, and people can go check out your beautiful After the Weekend show.
Nope. I say R2 and After the Weekend can go pound a lot of freaking sand. That's what I'm saying right there.
Well, obviously you watch it after we're done here.
I don't know who that I is. He sounds like he's a grifter, and quite frankly,
kid. We know you kid.
I kid.
I'm kidding around. But yeah, so let's get into cinematography.
Wow, you did not post the link to your review, sir.
That
is too far for the joke.
No, I told him to.
Oh, did you? I don't know.
Yeah,
I was making.
You're not listening to me talking, are you? You're just talking away yourself.
I have been put in the Inside the Booth shame corner. It's not the first time I've been put in the shame corner. I've been in the shame corner and After the Weekend, and I will humble myself.
So let's talk about cinematography, Ryan. Cartoony. You were saying about how it was good for the time. Go ahead.
Yes. Yeah. No. I would agree. You're talking. The chat's laughing at me, which they should. They should. That's what it's all about. No, the cinematography is good. You have to think about the fact that the animation is all hand drawn, and you're talking about drawing scene to literally probably a fraction of the next scene to move. I mean, this is literally animation in a way that
that's not done anymore.
That's not even close to done anymore. You're talking about thousands of man hours between many people.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen behind the scenes stuff about that. They got
it's
paper,
wild.
They flip it up, and they're kind of drawing it the same, but slightly different. And then they got to keep doing it to the next one, and then the next one. It's so crazy. Cinematography. Yes, cinematography.
What?
I don't know. The way he says it, it sounds funny.
Maybe he's drunk.
I don't know.
Sir, you're not supposed to drink the bong water, just for the record.
But yeah, I did enjoy the cartoon of how it was. It actually reminded me, even though the real Ghostbusters was done in the 80s, like 83 or something, 84, something like that. Even though it was a little older, this show kind of reminded me a little bit of the cartoon there. I don't know if it was the same cartoonist, but it has some of a similar style. So, yeah.
I mean, when you're talking about animated stuff from the 70s and the 80s, you're talking about a very large set of work. It's not just simple drawing. You're talking about the Hobbit movie leading into the real Ghostbusters. You're talking about the Super Mario Brothers Super Show, The Legend of Zelda turns into Mighty Max, or all these shows over the years. That animation is very prevalent, and it takes a lot of people to invest in that, and they just don't make them the way they used to. in my opinion, when it comes to animation. I think the old school animation is so much better because of the heart and soul that was put into it, the hard work that was put into it. They're not just not like and they're like animating, you know, they're clicking buttons. It's not like that. Like you have to tirelessly spend hours animating this, and if you miss
8 hours a day, right, or longer,
probably more than that,
15 hours a day just drawing. I mean,
you miss one little mark, one little fraction of a second in a animated movie, and you're gonna have a character who's going to and you're like, the hell does his hand go? Like,
whoops, I missed the part.
Like,
that'd be me if I was drawing an animation.
Yeah, well,
miss a few things.
I don't have the patience for it. God bless them. I really do. I think things from I think animations, in my opinion, from the 80s and the early 90s, and obviously this movie led the way with that. Was so much better. It had so much more character to it because it literally had.
Thanks, R2.
It literally had everything invested into it, and in today's world, it just feels hollow, in my opinion.
Right. So we'll give that a point for you.
Yes.
All right. Thanks for the compliment about my background, but my background kind of is a little cluttery. Is Ryan the new Inside the Booth member? No, but there has been talk about doing something maybe. So we'll see what happens in the future. So
that is true talk right there.
So next is the score, the music of this movie. I liked some of it, but not all of it. I liked, when the hobbits would sing their songs or whatever, or the dwarves, I should say, not the hobbit. And because that was like in the movie when they would sing the song, it was part of the books, so.
Yeah. It was kind of a musical. I would say I'd probably give it a half a point. R2 said you guys have the curtain thing. Oh, that's what it means by the background. Yeah, no, that's cool.
Yes.
Who designed that again?
The curtain in the back was me. The curtain on the top here. Hold on. I'm trying to figure this out. Right here. This top part was Tabitha. So yeah. So the blurry curtain in the back was me. That top part's Tabitha. Oh, by the way, in this one, oh yeah, don't forget to hit that. Bam, bam, bam.
Vanquish the like button.
Vanquish. We should get a sword that chops it up or something.
R2 says Ryan is prettier than Matthew and manlier than David. I say bring him on. Maybe it's the beard. I don't know. It's the beard and the hat. I got that country boy vibe maybe going on. I don't know.
You did, JT. R2 also reminded us about that. And then I had R2 plug in your link to that show. So whenever we're done here, people can go watch it. Because I liked what you guys said anyways over there. The music, for me, I'm going to have to give it a half a point just because it wasn't my favorite. No. I liked parts of it because it was part of the book and the song of the books there and the one from the movies. So I liked some of it, but I didn't like the whole thing. It was kind of too 80s rock and roll-ish sounding to me, or whatever. Those songs from the 80s. You know what I'm saying, right?
JT says Ryan poops a lot, though.
That's okay. We all poop, don't we?
JT, I'm going to send you a book called Everybody Poops.
It's better to have a good BM than a bad BM. Let me just tell you that.
Taco Bell runs right there. Who invited JT?
I like everybody. All right, so Ryan, tell me about your music situation here.
Everybody, Backstreet's back.
All right.
Everybody. No, we're not doing that. So no, I think I would give the music a half a point. It definitely has the how did I put it? Kind of the old school, kind of not Wellerman chants. What are we looking for? He says clipped.
Yes.
Well, so we're folksy. The folkish, the folksy kind of like singing, is in like kind of like storytelling and stuff like that.
Right.
A lot of ancient civilizations would sing their folklore, their songs and stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah. It wasn't my favorite at the same time, though. I definitely see where it fits. It's definitely a different world, today. At the same time, though, I kind of feel still this movie kind of aligns with kids and maybe some people who are part of the love movement, who are kind of like flying higher on a kite,
right, like hippies. Or
yeah. So I think it's probably a balance of that, because obviously you had other movies and stuff like that. Heavy metal was like
just
an
like
animated
Spider-Man's girlfriend, MJ.
Yeah. It was just something that
Yeah, exactly. I got you.
The roller coaster of love, baby.
I got you. Woodstock, that happened.
What year was Woodstock? 79?
I don't even remember. It was in the 70s.
No. It'd probably be 69.
I think
because
it was 69.
It was the 30th anniversary of Woodstock in 1999, which
Right.
which is the first year that I entered high school. Was 99. Right. So,
and did you know that it was a farm in Bethel, New York, and that's pretty darn close to where I live. So if I was born back then, I probably would have went there. Because
I did not know that.
Yeah, it was like an art fair. We got art fairs all the time around here. But for some reason, somehow, that became like the biggest thing that happened back then,
Those darn hippies.
People.
Those darn hippies.
Oh, so weird. But yeah, I don't think that could ever be recreated. So,
the GilkMan says, "Wait, you're in New York, Dan?" He was born there. Are you still in New York?
Yes, we moved back to New York after I was in Florida. So
that's
why I'm coming to visit Florida instead of staying there. Visiting is different, but yes, I'm in upstate New York, a little town called Dansville. It's such a small little town. It's nice though.
Are you sure?
If you know where Rochester is or Buffalo is, it's kind of in the same area.
Don't dox yourself, man. Come on.
Oh, that's all right. People can come and see me if they want. I'll give them big hugs. I'm a hugger.
You definitely have more I'd say mellow content than I do. I do move. He says, "Damn it, I'm going to have to move. I don't want to be too anywhere near." Thomas, we got plenty of room in Florida if you want to move to a freedom state. Just for the record.
That's right.
We love all the freedom.
So, GilkMan, where do you live? If you live close by, we should hang out sometime.
Yeah, Dan and Ryan are a good dynamic. JT said. Are you sure?
Whatever.
Well, I guess Dan kind of polices me up and keeps me from being a giant pain in the butt.
Yeah, when you get too far into your stories, there, gotta wheel you back in.
David says, "I love Florida." Thomas says, "I'm originally from New York too, but I live in Massachusetts and claim Boston as my favorite." JT says, "Yes." R2 says, "Yes, you guys are." Okay.
Thanks.
What and R2 says more of this. What do you guys like? You like trying to what do you like trying to set us up? Like, what is it, a dating website?
So my brother loves Florida. Yes, he does. I do too. I do want to move back over there, but eventually when I make enough money, because right now, not a lot.
What is going on in the chat? JT says, "Yes, you do. You guys do great on screen together." JT says more. The GilkMan, I want to see R2 and JT Gunn on with Ryan and Dan, and R2 says yes. Well, all right. Well, JT says, "I don't like Ryan." I don't like Ryan. I don't either.
Yeah, who's this Ryan guy we're talking about?
I don't either. I agree, buddy. I agree. What's the next topic?
Allegory is next.
We're at allegory. Okay.
Yeah, we're at allegory. All right. Allegory. Well, since this is a cartoon,
I feel like this one
evil.
is lacking a lot of allegory. Because
I think because they cut out a lot.
They cut out a snot load.
Don't be greedy. Good always triumphs over evil.
Thomas says, "You don't like Ryan, you love Ryan." JT, that's true. He's in love with me. Don't let him fool you.
So I'm gonna give allegory half a point for myself because it does have a little bit, but at the same time, it's more on the vague side. It's not really like deep like it is with the movies,
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'm doing.
I would agree. I'd give it half a point. Obviously, it's the battle between good and evil, which is great. They don't mention Sauron once, by the way, like nothing.
Right.
Like they mention the one ring of power to control them all, which quite frankly, Gandalf, there are multiple rings of power. So for at the end of this, for Gandalf to be like going, it's the one ring of power, it's like no. He knows that Bilbo has a ring,
right?
And even at the beginning of the Hobbit from 1970, I'm sorry, the Lord of the Rings from 1978, he refers to the one ring of power, and it doesn't work. So anyway, long story short, there's not a lot of allegory in it. They cut a lot of stuff out. And quite frankly, Gandalf comes off as this. Well, you don't even get Galadriel in it, which is honestly she
would have been a green-looking elf anyways. That looks wacky weird, like all the other ones did. So it's strange how he drew the elves. The elves were so weird to me. I know we're past cinematography, but that was probably one of the things I didn't like was how the elves were drawn as like these green, to me, goblin-looking things, even though they didn't look like the goblins that were drawn in the movie.
They were like kind of like mid-level goblins.
Right.
That makes sense. Like you had like the goblins that were like shorter. They were a little bit taller than like Bilbo. And of course, you had like the elves that were not as necessarily as tall as they were a little bit taller than the dwarves, but the elves are supposed to be tall, mythical, almost mystic, phenomenal, creatures. And so I mean, I can't hit. I don't hate it. I don't hate it. I loved it as a kid. Rewatching it as an adult, it definitely has some holes in it. But I do look forward to watching the Lord of the Rings movie from 1978 with the animated, which is 2 hours and 12 minutes long. And then, of course, there is Return of the King, which is an hour and 33 minutes long, that is animated from 1980. So I think that would be, if
animations are different, because it does look like
they are different. They are different, obviously. Yeah.
It looks like when they filmed some of the animation in the Lord of the Rings there, it looks like humans, and they just kind of like blacked them out and drew on top of them or something. It was strange. And then you get the regular cartoon drawings, and it just kind of looks off to me. But it's still kind of strange to watch, but at the same time interesting to watch. Does that make sense?
I would tell anybody who has not seen it in most likely decades. I think the last time I probably saw it, I was in
the Goblins. Yes,
it's probably late 80s, early 90s.
Is when you watched it?
Yeah. Well, no, the last time I watched it prior to reviewing this, which I watched it today. Right. Yeah, that was probably the last time I watched it as a kid. Like a little kid. I would say go back and rewatch it. Just for the nostalgia. It definitely holds up as a fun movie for the time, if you remember that, because it's not going to hold up to the animated movies of today. It's not going to hold up to obviously the Peter Jackson dual trilogies.
Peter Dragonson.
Peter Dragonson. Smog was not my favorite character in this movie compared to the Peter Jackson Hobbit trilogy. Smog was one of my favorites as a kid.
He definitely looked like he had a furry face in the cartoon.
Yeah,
like a kitty cat. Meow.
He was also fat.
He was.
He was also kind of like fat and too happy. But
my question is, where did he get all the food to eat? He's stuck in with all that gold. Did he just eat gold all day long?
Well, I don't know. Also, at the same time, there are two different there are two different measures. There are dragons, and they're a dragon class, and then there's a wyvern class under dragon lore. Wyverns actually have back legs. They have wings. However, their front legs are actually on the wings itself. And you see that with Smog in the animated movie. You see that with the Smog in the Hobbit trilogy. However, in the I clipped that fan. However, in the animated movie, he has like he also has four front feet. So technically, he has like 4 feet, and he has like 2 winged arm claws. It makes no sense. I didn't like that either. So anyway, I'm done with analyzing the movie. I'm done.
All right. I guess that's it then, everybody. We're done. Let me add up the points here, and I'll tell you what this beautiful movie got out of 10 points.
6.5.
I'm
guessing.
Yeah, you're gonna guess. Okay.
I'm guessing based on what I remember we talked about.
And you are correct. 6.5 points out of 10.
Oh.
So this cartoon wasn't that bad. It wasn't great either. But,
no. Compared to other stuff that we reviewed on this channel, I think it. Look, I'm saying I think it has a solid pull. Is it necessarily for adults to be like going, oh my god, I love this movie? Like, no, it's more for like nostalgia purposes. but I would highly recommend watch it again. I think it's a good watch. And then, of course,
it definitely is.
Maybe in the future, you guys might review the obviously the 1978 Lord of the Rings, animated, because we still have a lot of Rings of Power.
Now, how many episodes does Rings of Power have?
4.
How many are they gonna have?
8.
Okay,
Per the first season.
More?
Per the first season.
So does that mean they're gonna go for next month too? They're kind of they already got 4 out, and then next month, and then
every Friday.
Gotcha. Maybe
I guess every Thursday morning at like 3:05 in the morning, like I don't know. So Friday morning 3:05, whatever. Late night Thursday, early Friday. Rings of Power, the last episode. I
need more cowbell too.
Yeah,
good sounding stuff there.
Rings of Power needs more cowbell. They need to beg Peter Jackson to come in for season 2. That is my opinion. I'm not saying the last episode was horrible. It did have some slightly enlightening moments. However, House of the Dragon is the best thing on television. If you want to compare the two, it's not even close. And it's
Shadiversity did a thing on Lord Power Rings of Power.
Rings of Power.
And he looks more into like the armor and how practical things are. So if anybody here does not watch Shadiversity, you should. It's fun stuff. Yeah. It's all about medieval stuff and
he doesn't only, he's also a writer too, so he doesn't only critique the the armor, the weapons for Rings of Power. He critiques the story. He's got a lot of stuff to say about the story because they kind of contradict themselves a lot. I know he's talked very positively about the House of Dragon, the armor, the weapons, even the story. Is the House of Dragon the best thing ever? No, but I would definitely probably give it after this last episode, I would have taken it from probably a 7.5, maybe a 7.2 to a 7.85 to possible 8 out of 10, because this last episode was very dramatic. It had a lot of character development, and they just care more.
Sweet.
And I think the showrunners, HBO learned their lesson from Game of Thrones season 8. So if you want a show to pick, watch House of the Dragon and let Rings of Nobody Cares hopefully get a season 2 and they do better. Call Peter Jackson.
Sweet. Yeah, call Peter Jackson. Sweet.
All right, Dan, I'm done. I'm sorry. Right. I ranted slightly. Sorry, buddy.
That's okay. So that's pretty much it, everybody. Remember to vanquish the like button, just like this for now. And then we can also, ding. Wait. Ding that bell.
Want to ring the bell? All right. Ding, ding.
To be notified for new stuff being put out. More content. That's what they call it. Content. This is content, everybody. So yeah, that's it. Thanks for being here. We love you guys. Hope you have a great, wonderful rest of your night and day tomorrow and the rest of the week. We'll see you on Sunday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yay. All right. Goodbye, everybody.
Love you guys. See ya.
Are you not entertained?